Ex-prisoners of Reddit, what was the hardest prison habit to break after being released? Not me personally, but I know a guy that said, after he got out he just wanted McDonald's. When he got there he spent 20 minutes staring at the menu trying to decide what to order, because he wasn't used to having choices. Staring at sharp things. Like there's no desire to use them inappropriately, but you are just kinda shocked they're there and available for use. You might be surprised what qualifies as a sharp object. I remember whenever someone tried to hand me a knife or something to cut veggies I'd be afraid to touch it. Glass was the biggest thing though, just mirrors in all the bathrooms, real ones. I could smash that shit and have a big jagged weapon. I can't believe this Italian restaurant has such a dangerous thing in their bathroom. Stopping thinking of objects as weapons is hard. I was an inpatient at a psychiatric hospital when I was a teen. I was there for trauma issues and never really struggled with self-harm or violent tendencies, but remember feeling the exact same way when I got out. It was like, holy shit, this restaurant gave me a steak knife. Do they not realize I could literally stab someone? Or I'd see a rack of scarves for sale and think you could definitely hang yourself with that. I still like having a stash of ramen packs somewhere, even if I'm not going to eat them. That's just smart. You never know when you might be hungry and have no other food. Taking a shit with my underwear up to my thighs to hide my junk. It took a long time to go back to pants around the ankles. I still do that. I forgot it wasn't normal until my girlfriend pointed it out. Not wearing shoes in the shower. Eating with forks and knives. Having salt and pepper for food. Not always having to watch your back. Being able to get food when you want it and just get up and leave to go for a drive or something. Subscribe and I will shout your name. I don't smoke, but every time someone offered me a cig I would pocket it on the inside. That's a bartering chip. Took me about a month or two to break. What's the smoking policy in jails? Because aren't you only allowed 2 hours outside a day? Does that mean you can only smoke for 2 hours of the day? Or could you smoke inside? I've always wondered. I don't think you're allowed to smoke inside, but many of them do it anyway. I mean, what are they going to do? Send you to prison? No, but they will lock you up harder. I eat fast. I don't sit with my back to the door in public. I always scan crowds constantly. I question why people are nice to me. I carry extra clothes, water, and various other things in my car in case I need it. Not a hoarder, but harder to get rid of stuff. I don't like being away from home overnight. I also quit eating boiled eggs. I overseason my food, and I refuse to drink Kool-Aid anymore. Hoard feminine hygiene products. We were super limited on the number of pads or tampons they gave us. They didn't give any to the women in holding cells. There was dried and fresh menstrual blood on the floor and concrete benches, and a drain in the middle of the rooms, like they intended to hose down the room. But if they did, it was not often enough. That seems like a violation of human rights. Lack of hygiene leads to unsanitary conditions, which leads to infection, which leads to illness. How did they justify that? Nobody cares. They're just criminals. I didn't use a fork for a few weeks. Ate everything with a spoon without thinking. It's not the most interesting thing, but I hadn't noticed it posted here. Same, I tried to cut a steak with a spoon and my dad was like, "You are free now." I don't know why, but I imagined your dad is Morgan Freeman. Constantly looking over my shoulder. By far the hardest conditioning to break, which I haven't, and doubt I ever will, is the constant pessimism and cautious optimism. You see, when you're waiting to work your way through court, get a deal, and get sentenced, you will have your dates changed 50 times, hope for certain things only to be disappointed, and any time you are told something hopeful it doesn't work out. As a result, I never get excited for something until it actually happens. When my wife told me we were pregnant, I already knew from her symptoms that she was, but still, you never know for sure till you take the test. I was obviously happy, but because I'm always cautiously optimistic and rarely show emotion, I couldn't feel comfortable or excited until I knew that my developing daughter was healthy. Even then, it didn't really hit me till she was born. You can apply this to anything, especially big events. Getting engaged, planning the wedding, buying a house, anything. I still hear from my wife how I wasn't crazy surprised or excited to be having a kid. I actually was the half of the relationship who was dead set on a kid when my wife supposedly cold gone either way. You just can't get your hopes up or look forward to anything until it is here or has happened. I've been home over 7 years now and with my wife for 6.5. She's truly the catalyst that motivated me to truly change my life and to not give any more of my life to the system. But she'll never know how happy she makes me because she misinterprets my cautious optimism/realism for pessimism or indifference. Now, show this post to your wife. Seriously. I'd be like, backquote, you should read this, but I do not want to talk about it. Just think on it, but that's just me. I did almost 7 years. Been out 2 years. I'm 35. From Wisconsin. Wisconsin has a law called truth in sentencing. You do 100% of your time. There are multiple head counts, where the guards make sure that all of the inmates are accounted for. Every morning at 5 AM. I felt like I was doing something wrong if I slept past 5 AM. It took me almost 6 months before I slept past 5 o'clock. Even now, 6 AM is sleeping in for me. It has allowed me to never be late to work and show up every day. I was a drug dealer with no work ethic, and I slept until noon. Ironically, I'm more successful than I ever thought I would be because of this habit. I actually just got poached by another company who offered me a 150% salary increase. Nice to see you. New tax bracket. In 2 years, I have become a model paralee. My life is great. I married my wife last September. I go to therapy for a multitude of conditions that manifested while I was a guest of the state. I was diagnosed with general and social anxiety disorder and PTSD. I was out a few months and I had a panic attack. I had no idea what was happening to me. I was literally paralyzed and afraid. I thought prison ruined me. It made me a better person in general. I'm not praising Wisconsin doc by any means. The guards dehumanized the inmates and treated us like pure garbage with no hope. They always told people you'll be back. I won't be back. People that go back produce job security. They want people to come back, so they do what they can to steal your dreams. I changed myself. Prison allowed me to step back and really look at my life. I saw who I hurt. I saw who was there for me. I saw who abandoned me. I became focused on change after my 3rd year. I contemplated suicide because I wasn't even half done with my sentence. After I seriously thought about hanging my life up, I committed myself to being the best human being I could be. I revolted by behaving, teaching myself things, and being positive. My life is now amazing. I'm surrounded by people who love me and support me. All of the ex-cons reading this, and people just interested in this thread, that label is bullshit. We are human beings with feelings. We can change. Stay positive and stay hopeful. Never give up. All of my fellow redditors, one love. I had to completely change my sense of time. I agree with all the people who said they ate super fast, but then we would slow walk back from the chow hall any excuse for a few minutes more outside. I made sure I never consolidated enjoyable things. If I had a snack, I ate it and concentrated on it. If there was something good on TV, I watched it. Now, I'll snack while I watch a movie because there aren't enough hours in the day, but on the inside I was trying to make hours and days go away. I've got a good job now and nice respectable friends, but I still react to confrontational situations more quickly, decisively, and efficiently than they do. I'm able to pull back at the last minute, but it's pretty clear that violence is not a tool in their arsenal. I think in the real world, 90% of winning a fight is being willing to fight in the first place. Most people realize very quickly, once a fight starts, that they don't actually want to fight. Taking as long as you want in the shower. For the longest time, after I got out, I took less than 5-minute showers. My friend did 2.5 in Florida State Prison. Said the first thing he did when he got home was shower until all the hot water ran out. Edit, because this seems to be coming up a lot. This was like 15 years ago. Tankless water heaters weren't really a thing back then. I'm not totally sure if they even existed, and if so they weren't common in lower income households. So, yes, it was very possible to run out of hot water. I don't know a single person with a tankless water heater. Running out of hot water is not uncommon at all.